All right, so Grace and I are going to take the LTD for its first test drive. She's volunteered to run the video camera, so let's see what happens. Other than driving it on and off the trailer, I haven't driven it yet. So good. Turn signals appear to not work. Okay, we're gonna go out here and get it up to at least 55 miles an hour. Yeah, exhaust needs love. Up. Little miss there. Doesn't drive too bad. A little vibration of the steering wheel, but I think that's those old crummy tires. Radio works. Ooh, we have. Look at that. It's even playing the 80s music. So it doesn't have a temperature gauge. He'd mentioned he thought it needed a water pump too, so we kind of got to keep an eye on temperature. So we'll go back and check it out and see what, if anything looks messed up in the cooling system. I'm not sure any of the dash lights are working actually, now that I say that. We might have another electrical problem somewhere. Should we turn on the air conditioning and see what kind of nasty stuff blows out of that? Back from our first test drive. I'd have to say not too bad, really. Exhaust is way obnoxious loud. Hear it. All sorts of holes under there. Didn't drive too bad. The tires, I think, are crummy, like I said. I think it might have some other electrical problems. Didn't look like any of the dash lights were working. Turn signals aren't working. Gotta check that out. Yeah, it looks pretty good down on the ground. Well, I'm still collecting exhaust pieces. I got an H pipe, got tailpipes. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna try to find some headers, even if they're stock Mustang headers. So I've got my eyes out for a set of those right now, and then when I get that, we'll lay everything out on the ground and make sure we've got everything before we start tearing it apart. All right, tonight I'm working on a couple little things. One thing I want address and fix is the shifter moves really stiff. It's really hard to move. So I've disconnected the cable on the bottom. Just make sure it's not the cable. It's actually, I think the shifter itself is rusted up. So looks like I'm going to disassemble either from the top and the bottom or whatever. Figure out how to lube it up. Well, on the bottom side here, I've got it disconnected. It still moves stiff. Sprayed some PB Blaster up there, but can't really get where it needs to go. So I think I'm going to take it apart from the top side. That's what the inside of your shift lever looks like. I cleaned it up, sprayed some PB Blaster down in there. It moves a little bit easier. Greased the ball socket on the bottom. Put it all back together, put the T-handle back on, and see what it feels like. Way better. Don't need to use two arms now. Well, I'm still collecting parts for the exhaust. Hopefully I'm going to get headers this weekend, and then I'll be tearing into the exhaust. Alright, so after about a week and a half of searching and scrounging parts, I finally got almost two exhaust systems here, and I'm going to take the best of each of them, or maybe not the best, but whatever fits of each system, and see if we can get it on the car. One H pipe's got cats in it, the other one doesn't. I've got a cross member out of a Mustang that is supposed to fit. I'm just going to put a set of stock 5-liter headers on it that buddy hooked me up with. So we're going to tear into this thing, see if we can get the exhaust on it. The part I'm dreading the most is getting the stock exhaust manifolds off. Hopefully these bolts aren't rusted too bad, but they're probably rusted enough that it's going to be a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to get the Sawzall out, cut all the stock junk off, and go to work on the exhaust system here. Here's a little look at the old style fuel injection. This throttle body system's got the injectors right in there. Haven't really had a chance to drive this thing too much, so I don't know how good it really runs, but we'll see after we get the exhaust system on this. So time to tear in, get the Sawzall out, and see what fits. Supposedly all this Mustang stuff is supposed to fit, but it's only one way to find out. Well, before I wrap this video up, I thought I'd jack the car up, take a look at what's going on here again. It's the first time I've had the car fully up in the air, front and rear, so here you can see some of the problems in the front. I'm going to cut all that off, replace this single hump cross member with a dual hump cross member, get rid of all this, and hopefully the exhaust is going to hang right in here. But just as I got it up here and looked at it, I see the first problem. The fuel pump and fuel filter sit right where the right hand muffler is supposed to sit. So it probably means that the fuel pump needs to get relocated. Not sure how we're going to do that. I guess that's what we're learning. So that's it for this video. Next video will be cutting all this stuff off and figuring out the fuel pump, it looks like. Talk to you later. So I wasn't going to film all this, but I started pulling some of the manifold bolts. You would not believe how easy they're coming out. I probably just cursed myself. I'm sure I just cursed myself, but watch, I haven't touched this one yet. Just no problem. Hopefully they all come that easy.